What a heart-wrenching question this is. We know you're suffering. We know you're carrying around a lot of pain in this situation, but I want to encourage you. We've seen so many couples, so many people that are in your situation go through that and come out stronger on the other side. And I know that
it is absolutely possible, but there is no jolt to a marriage that really goes deeper at the heart of it than the jolt of infidelity. Let's just be really clear about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, when we put this little book together, I Love You More, that was really one of the catalysts. We just had so many situations exactly like yours where people were heartbroken and they would have obviously never chosen to experience anything like this, but here they are. What can you do to get through this? You may be wondering, why do we call this book I Love You More? Because the whole point is you can go through something, a major jolt like you're experiencing, and actually come through on the other side saying, I love you more than I thought I ever could have. Now, I know that as you hear that, you're thinking, come on, give me a break, that's never going to happen. But we have plenty of examples from real life that we know this is true.
But you're going to have to start by dealing with one of the things that you've highlighted, and that's that your husband did not take ownership to come clean about the affair with you, that you had to discover it, and maybe he hasn't taken ownership with you yet. And taking ownership is actually at the bedrock of what happens. Not just him, but you know, as you work together, you kind of both take ownership for the state the relationship is in that led to this. But until you know that his heart is with you, that he's repentant, that he's honest and clear, you are going to feel that kind of protective, kind of hold them at arm's length, distancing feeling, because that is exactly what you do when you've been injured by someone and you don't sense their commitment to true change.
Right, and if you haven't done so already, you really need to get into a situation with a mentoring couple that has traveled this road before, or a counselor, or a pastor, or somebody that can walk with you through this process.
And don't you think it's important to really realize that you are going to go through all of the stages of grieving, and that involves, you know, that shock initially, that involves overwhelming anger, you know, it involves just grieving, sense of loss until you move to acceptance. And when you're at that place of overwhelming anger, that feeling of I can't stand the sight of my spouse is going to be present. It really is. I mean, you've been betrayed, and that's the result. And so recognize this is a part of a passage that you go through that leads to healing. You will not always feel the way you do, but you have to lean into it right now.
Yeah, give yourself permission to experience this. There's nothing wrong with that. You've been hurt. You've been deeply, deeply wounded. And you'll carry this wound for a long, long time. But if you kind of short-circuit it, you know, if you're getting recommendations from friends or somebody that says, oh, well, just kind of get over it.
Be a trigger-happy forgiver. That's not going to lead to reconciliation and strength and health between the two of you.
But you work on this, you journey through this together, and you really will be able to say, I love you more than I ever thought I could.